Evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're all safe and well. We have sunshine again in Scotland, so that means that the shorts are on tonight. And our guest tonight, who is probably used to sunny weather every day, is the Ghost Host. She's over there. Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli. Sophie's back. Sophia, I called you Sophia again, didn't I? Sophia.
Hey, thank you for having me on again. It's always great to be on.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a while, but it's been crazy. I swear, it's been like such a busy couple of years. I feel like my head's spinning. I feel like The Exorcist half the time.
That was a good film, actually. I enjoyed that.
I've never seen it. I saw like part of it and I was disturbed, so I left.
You were disturbed?
Yeah.
What disturbed you about it? Well, are you talking about the original or the remake? Because they remade it.
It was the original.
With Linda Blair.
Mm-hmm.
With the head spin.
No, I saw her. I mean, it was a while ago. I think she like peed on a carpet once, and I thought that was kind of funny. And then like the next scene after that in her bedroom like disturbed me, and then I just didn't watch it. I don't watch horror movies, so.
Oh, you don't? Oh. There's Laura saying hello to you.
Hi, Laura.
Was there no something to do with you, Laura, with food or something?
Oh, why are you trying to get me in trouble? I literally have been on like not even 5 minutes, and you're already trying to get you're trying to have me catch heat from Laura. I don't know. I think that's why I haven't been on in a while. I'm like a little scared.
You scared of me? Did Scottish people scare you?
Just Laura. She got mad at me about the food, and I talk about food too much, so I was a little scared of that to slip up.
No, we were talking to her about half an hour ago or something like that, and she's in a good mood, so you're safe. You're fine.
Okay, cool. My little cousin's already after me. I can't have that many people. Oh, see, you're already trying to get me in trouble.
I'm sorry the Scottish people are scared. Have you seen the film Braveheart? Is that what did it?
Yeah, I saw it when I was little. I don't remember it that much, but I saw it like a few times.
It's amazing the amount of people that, English, we've got a lot of English friends, and I've been to England many, many times. And as soon as you turn and say, you're from Scotland, oh, you Scottish? You're all nuts. They think they're on about with kilts and spears up here. And the amount of people that say, you're crazy. I'm not going to mess. You don't mess with the Scots. Don't mess with, I think it's still but Braveheart times up here. We have kind of moved on, but some of the people, I think they run about the hills in kilts chasing sheep. Well, some people still do, but that's a whole other show. You know what I mean? But we're the nicest people on the planet, Sophia.
No, you're super cool. It's just the food is like a no-go. The food's a no-go. We can't talk about food.
So we're not talking about buns or bread or any kind of food substances.
You can talk about it. I want to stay on Laura's good side. I like Laura, and I want her to like me.
I need to stay Laura's good side because she stays literally 2 minutes for us. 2-minute walk. We moved house last August.
You'll hear a knock on the door, and it'll be Laura.
Aye, look at that. Hello, aye. What were we saying? You don't watch horror films. Why do you not watch horror films?
I don't like horror films. I don't know. I don't like being scared. I saw Jeepers Creepers. That really freaked me out when I was like 12.
Good film.
I saw Scream 5 and 6 recently. I haven't. she's gonna come.
Our door has got a code. You need to press it to get in the door, our front door. It's a fancy door, snobby door.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's a code, so Laura knows the code, but I'm going to change it, but don't tell her. I mean,
I haven't seen the original Screams. I want to watch those, but I don't want to rent it. So I saw Scream 5 and 6 recently. I liked Scream 6. Yeah, I like Ghostface. He's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't like horror films. I'm trying. I like horror video games. Like Friday the 13th is great. Dead by Daylight. I love horror games.
You love horror games, but you don't like horror films. I like the Scream films, the first 2 or 3, but I don't know. It was the old Hollywood cliche, girl in the house herself. and they go up the stairs themselves. Instead of heading for the front door, they go up the stairs. You know.
Yeah, we talked about that on the horror movie show that you had me on with I think Rick McCallum, but we were talking about Halloween because I saw that and I had a lot of complaints about it.
And they run into the empty house, you know, and the serial killers about, rather than running a police station or something, they run into the empty house. You know, they're just asking for trouble. But I'm a big horror fan. I'm a major. I like to see people losing limbs and appendages and stuff like that. You know, the gorier the better for me. So one of the films I was going to say to you was, have you seen the Abigail?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't go to movie theaters either because I'm a germaphobe. They're just like, I don't think they're clean. I don't. I love film, but I love film for my home.
And the cinemas here, I don't know what it's like over in the States, but it's very, very, it's doing a game, we'll go to the cinema because it's quite expensive nowadays, so it's 50, 60 pounds.
No, it's expensive here too. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, it's just like expensive. I don't think the color quality on like it being projected on a screen is as good as like watching it on a TV. But that's just me. Some people like the theater experience. I just try and set my room up like a theater. Blackout curtains, surround sound speakers, big TV. I'm good. And I know my room's clean.
And you know you're safe for any serial killers.
I mean, one could hope. One could hope.
One could hope. There's Kate saying hello. She's asking whereabouts in the States you're from.
Hi, Kate. I'm from like the Los Angeles County, California. So I'm a California girl.
From LA, City of Angels. That's where she's. Yeah. That's where she's from. No, I liked. We went to see. Do you remember Mary Queen of Scots film? You've probably seen it over there as well. I think it was a couple of years ago. And Sarah's a big Mary Queen of Scots fan. So the film came out, there was big hype about it. And I think it's only about 2.5, 3 hours. It was quite a long film. But we went for something to eat first, and we booked the fancy seats in the cinema. And two of us fell asleep during the film. We never seen that. I think we woke up when she was getting her head cut off. And that was it, lights out. You know, we were...
Yeah, I fell asleep during the... I think it was the Eric Norton Incredible Hulk when I was like 5 or 6 or something. My aunt took me to like a midnight showing and I fell asleep. I remember the beginning scene and I remember seeing the end credits. And so I hadn't actually seen the film until like last year.
I know. If you're going to go to cinema to see a film, don't go for a big meal or, you know, a Burger King or, you know, don't go for anything big to eat because you just end up sitting and just, you know, lights out. What gets me about the cinema is the advert. I hate adverts. Even on TV, whatever, I detest them because they seem to last for about 2 hours, you know, and it's like 20 adverts. And that gets me at cinema as well. They got all these adverts. Oh, she's asked a question right up your alley. She's in Chicago. Are you excited about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, I mean, I love Marvel, so I'm super excited about like all Marvel movies. I'm like a little bit behind. I still haven't finished Loki season 2, and then I have to watch. I started watching the original X-Men movies, and I got about 2 in. So I've just kind of been jumping around. I was watching X-Men. Well, I started watching Star Wars, and I started with the prequels. And then I jumped to X-Men, and then I started watching Grimm. So that's how that's been going with my TV viewing.
What did you make of She-Hulk, the woman Hulk? What did you make of that?
I liked it. That? Yeah, no, I've seen it. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I know a lot of people don't agree, and I think they want more like serious comic book movies. But for me, I just like, I like funny things, and I thought it was funny. I loved Madison and Wongers. I thought that was, my dad loved them too. He really, really likes Madison, and he wants to see her have like her own show.
No, I don't know. I would really watch She-Hulk, and it just wasn't the same, you know. It's just ripping people apart in buildings and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Carnage, you know. I love that Wolverine has his yellow OG suit in the new movie. Of course, Hugh Jackman. Played Wolverine. Which brings me to the other film I was going to ask you about, getting off the Marvel theme slightly. Sarah says I wouldn't admit this one alive, but I'm going to admit it. Have you seen The Greatest Showman?
No, I have not.
Oh, OMG. That's what I'm going to say. The little one, Sarah and the wee one have been nagging me for ages watching it, and I go, no, I load of rubbish. No, I'm not watching it. Crap. Don't. But the little one had they done a show in a school, The Greatest Show, and it was based on The Great Showman. And the show was really good, with the kids. Mm-hmm. And they were all average age, say 6 to 10, 11 years old. So I think it was really, really good. And so I thought, I enjoyed that. So I'm going to watch The Great Showman. And I think I've watched it 3 times or something. And Sarah says, you'll never admit it on a live at you. So I put my hands up. I watched The Great Showman and I thought it was amazing. So you need to watch it.
I've heard a lot of great things about it. I usually kind of stick to like comedy movies. I like comedy movies or like rom-coms. Like I watched one the other day. It was rated PG-13 and it did not seem like it should be rated PG-13. So I was like, oh, I'll just watch something funny and light, like maybe like She's the Man or something. And it wasn't. I was like, who rated this?
Laura says she told me years ago. I didn't realise it was 2007. I thought The Great Showman was a recent film. Over the last year and a half, whatever. But I think it was 2017. But Laura told me about it and she said, Great Showman. I went, thingy yourself. But my favourite rom-com, if you can call it that, is Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I think I saw that once when I was younger. I don't really remember it. My favorite is I love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days with Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey. Or I'm trying to think of the others. But I mean, She's the Man is great with Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. Also love Pitch Perfect. I don't know if you can really call that rom-com, but Pitch Perfect is great.
It's what's Kate saying? So we'd love to have you on one of our podcasts about movies. Nick Muley, Dom, I can't pronounce that name. Elmy. That Elmy? You're right up our street on your Norris. Sorry. It's fine, Kate. We've already done shows on films anyway. We've done horror and we've done Marvel, so we're in there first though. You're a bit slow in that one, Kate, but you need to ask the lady sitting over there if she'll take the time. I will warn you, she's a very, very busy lady. So
I would love to come on, Kate. Thank you for asking me. Just like hit me up on Facebook or something, and we can set that up. I also love old movies too. So if you guys talk about old movies, I do that. Like one of my favorite films is, and I guess this is a rom-com. It Happened One Night with Clark Gable and Claudette Colburn. And I mean, Doris Day is amazing. Glass Bottom Boat, Pillow Talk.
Never heard of them. I've heard of Doris Day. Yeah, but I mean, I've never heard of the films. So
what? Oh my god!
My favourite old time film is It's a Wonderful Life. I know it's the middle of the year. It's June. It's June now. Is it June? Hold on.
It's May.
No, it's still May. Yeah, I think it's June and Saturday. You get mixed up, don't you? You kind of lose track. And me and the wee one actually watched The Grinch last week. We were in the room watching The Grinch, which Sarah thought was quite absurd, but hey-ho. But I loved It's a Wonderful Life with James Stewart. You've got to like that one, surely.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've just seen it a lot to where I'm just like, It's a Wonderful Life. Because, well, here's the thing. I have a really good memory. So if I see something too much, I don't have a desire to watch it again because I remember everything. So for me, it's just like, I don't need to see it again. It's just one of those things. I don't, asking about video games, Kate did in the comments, I don't replay video games that much until recently because I just remember them so well. But yes, I have played the new Spider-Man game. I actually just played it a few months ago in like February or something. It was really good. I love Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. So I was like have to play Spider-Man. I love swinging through the city. It's like the coolest thing ever.
Do you do that yourself? Aye, you just says you love swinging through the city. Is that what you do in your spare time?
If I was Spider-Man, yes, but if I was me, I would hit my face into the side of a building and I probably would get hospitalized.
Okay, well, the two great games. I don't do it. I can beat video games on my phone, and that's it. That's where my knowledge of video games ends. But you need to watch The Great Showman. Definitely, 100%. So you've got 2 weeks to watch it because I'm going to contact you in 2 weeks and ask you what you thought about it.
I will attempt to watch it in the next 2 weeks.
I'll tell you, once you watch it, you'll be like that. You'll be hooked. You'll be hooked. You know what I mean? How manly do I sound? What's it? You know. The rom-coms, I've watched quite a few in my time, but I don't remember much about them. I like sitcoms and stuff like that, you know, Friends and stuff like that, you know. I'm a massive Friends fan, always have been. And Frasier as well. I love Frasier. And I liked how they brought Frasier back out. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No, I haven't seen Frasier. I've seen I Dream of Jeannie. I love I Dream of Jeannie. Bewitched, New Girl, not on sitcom end, but I've seen Teen Wolf, Vampire Diaries, Originals, Legacies, Riverdale, like stuff like that. I only started watching scripted shows because my parents don't really watch them. Like 5 or 6 years ago. So a lot of it was like catch up. Like Vampire Diaries was over when I watched it. New Girl, I think, was over.
I forgot you're a fan of that stuff.
Love the Vampire Diaries. It's the best ever.
I'll don't say anything. I think we've had this discussion before, haven't we? What's been your favourite Marvel series? Not movies, not TV shows. I love Daredevil. I didn't like that. I like Ben Affleck, but the film Daredevil, it didn't. No.
The TV show Daredevil, not the movie. Ben Affleck played it in the 2000s, but Charlie Cox played it on Netflix series, and it recently got switched over to Disney Plus, and they have a continuation of it coming out soon, Daredevil Born Again.
So I take it you like it?
I mean, I thought it was good, but I don't know. I just feel like some of it was a little drawn out. Like, I mean, I like the I like a lot of the villains, but I feel like when I see them over time, like this season after season after season, like I just want to see something new and different. So Kingpin kind of got a little tired for me, at least in the Daredevil world. Like he was good in Echo and Hawkeye, but I feel like when you have the same hero fighting the same villain, it just becomes like a little bit much over time. Like personally for me, I was happy. I mean, I know he got removed for bad reasons, but when they took out King, like I heard King's not going to be in the upcoming films, it was good because I'd already seen him in Loki and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So it's like, how many more movies do I need to see King get defeated? I mean, I think it's better to just see like, I think they were talking about like, they don't know what villain will be next, but like Mephisto or something just different because that's what I prefer. So, I mean, Daredevil was good, but I also like kind of the change of pace. I liked Jessica Jones. I think her character is pretty great. But I think my favorite of all of them, probably, I mean, WandaVision was really good. I liked Loki season 1 a lot. That was like one of my top. And then I liked Hawkeye too. Just because you get to see like the different facets of like Clint Barton, and I don't know, I took up archery after it, so I just liked Hawkeye.
This will sound really stupid, right? It's going to sound totally nuts, but Loki, I like the character, but I didn't like the you can laugh if you want. I didn't like the horn thing on his costume. I thought they were too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I think some of the costumes are a little bit weird. I mean, like Kate was talking about, it's cool to see Hugh Jackman's new yellow costume. more like the comics, because when I was watching the first X-Men, them in the like uniform leather suits was just, I don't know, it seemed kind of weird. Like, I get that it's supposed to be like a superhero team, but the Avengers all had different costumes and it made sense, and I felt like for the X-Men it was just a little like weird. But
they were all the same.
yeah, it was just, and it was weird. Like, that doesn't really feel like a good crime fighting outfit for all of them to be in just like these weird like pleather outfits. But I agree. I mean, I literally haven't even finished Loki season 2. I just like, I don't know, like I said, when you're fighting the same big bad over and over again, it's just kind of like whatever. And I know they're trying to figure out the TVA, but in the end, it's just Kang on repeat.
I keep hearing a thump.
What?
You hear a thump?
It was Harry coming in the door.
All right. Sorry though, I could hear this thump. I thought it was a ghost or something, you know. I'll tell you what I did watch, was Crown, The Horns are Asgardian Sound for Sorcery, He Wields. But I just thought they were too long. Yeah, but that's just me. I'm kind of weird that way, you know. I just thought they were too long, you know. I'll tell you what I watched the other night. I've not watched in ages, and Batman, the Dark Knight, the one with the Joker in it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I think that's one of the best Batman films ever. Especially the Joker. It was like, I think it was the weekend. I turned it on and I saw it was on, and I could watch that over and over and over again. Christian Bale, Batman, I don't know. It's the voice gets me. Michael Keaton was the best one, I think. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy he's going to be playing Beetlejuice again.
I saw it September 24th of September. It's out over. I don't know what it's like over there. 24th of September. It's out over here. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they called it Beetlejuice instead of just Beetlejuice 2. Like, I just love like clever plays on like movies like that. I thought that was great that they did that. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, if it's Beetlejuice, does that mean there will be a Beetlejuice for the third one? So I think a lot of people are wondering if there'll be a third movie.
It was well, I don't know. The Dark Knight was filmed in Chicago. I didn't know that, but no, I really liked that film. But Beetlejuice, I think you've seen the original.
Yeah, I have.
And here's a quick: Did you sit there and say Beetlejuice 3 times to see what happened?
No, but
I bet you did. Did you?
I saw the trailer for the new one, and Jenna Ortega's character is like saying Beetlejuice to Winona Ryder's character in the movie, and that felt like such a child parent interaction to have, where the parents like, no, please don't do that, and the kid's doing it anyways.
I'm really looking forward to I saw the trailer for the other day, and I'm really looking forward to watch it. I love the film. I don't know how many. I've lost count how many times I've seen the original. I think Michael Keaton pulls it off to a T. You know, he's just got that kind of character, and I know he's meant to be the bad guy sort of in the film, but you can't help but fall in love with him.
I mean, he's a good villain. Or I don't even know what his thing is, but like, yeah, I mean, it's him trying to marry Winona Ryder is just like so strange, but I mean, it's funny because I heard that he's only in the movie like 20 minutes or something. It's like a super low amount of time that Michael Keaton's character is actually in Beetlejuice. I couldn't remember the exact number, but even though he's a main character and it feels like he's throughout the movie, he's actually not in it that much.
When you add it all together, it's only 20 minutes. He's meant to be some kind of demon. You know, that's all kind of thing behind Beetlejuice. He might be some kind of demonic entity sort of thing. But I didn't see anything very much demonic about him. I thought it was really funny, to be honest. But that's just my sense of humor.
He's definitely a little nefarious, so I definitely don't think he's like innocuous.
Case ask you, what if you could be any one of the X-Men, who would you be?
I mean, that's a good question. I think in the comic books, the Scarlet Witch is a mutant. I'm not sure. I think it depends on the comic. So if she is, I would pick her because she can really do like anything. But if you're going based on just the movies, I would probably go with like Quicksilver, because the one that Evan Peters plays in what's it, X-Men, oh my god, Days of Future Past. I just think it's so cool, just that sequence with the Eurythmics song I can't think of in the background. Oh, Sweet Dreams, and he's just collecting everyone from the school like in rapid speed, and that just seems like a great skill to have, to be able to move like that fast to do anything you want.
I don't know. She's the daughter of my. See, I'm lost with this. I've watched X-Men years and years ago. She's a daughter of Magneto, right?
Yeah, at least in the film, she is the sister of Quicksilver, and I know there's some debate if she's the daughter of Magneto in the films or not, because they say that she has normal parents, but then I also heard that maybe she's adopted. That's at least a fan theory. I think in the comic book she is the daughter of Magneto, but also I think I heard online that she in one of the comics was the daughter of Wolverine. But that was getting into like some weird stuff from the comics that I didn't really understand, and it was very, very weird. They write some weird stuff in the comic books.
I don't recall. I gave up reading comic books when I was about 8 or something.
I haven't read any. Like I just see it on like BuzzFeed or through like Wikipedia pages online, just so I kind of like know the backstory a little bit on them, or at least what their storylines are in the comics based on who's on the screen. Like when I was looking into like the Young Avengers to see like who actually is a part of that team.
So, who's your favourite Marvel character? If you could be in cases, you know, what X-Man would you be? If you could choose to be somebody at Marvel, who would you be?
It's really hard because if we're going on backstory versus skill set, because a lot of the characters I love have like really horrible lives, and I wouldn't want that. But if we're just going based on powers, like I said, it would be Scarlet Witch, and if it was someone more normal, I would go with like Black Widow, just because she's able to stand on her own and do stuff, which is really cool. But if we're going on like actually be them and take on their life, it would probably be like Kate Bishop or something, because Black Widow has a really like horrible backstory, and the Scarlet Witch, she's married to a robot, which is weird, and not a fan.
I would be Iron Man.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say that, but the thing about Tony Stark is he also has a lot of trauma from like the aliens and stuff, which they show really well in, I think it's Iron Man 3. So Tony kind of has a lot of demons to deal with and stuff, and the Iron Man suit just seems like a lot of work to keep updating. But if you're Tony Stark, you have the money and the intelligence, so.
Guy is, you know, is a billionaire, but no, I see my favourite's Iron Man. I like his outfit, you know, the whole suit kind of idea. It just, you know, it comes out. I think there's one film, it comes out a case, and then you get a watch or something on. He's put the hands out, and the suit comes flying down out the building after. He gets thrown out a building, actually. That's it, and then this thing comes out after him, turns into the suit. I like Iron Man. You know, I think I'd be a good Iron Man. You know,
yeah, I think my dad's favorite's Iron Man too. I think I asked him and he liked Iron Man, and I'm like, but Black Widow's so cool.
I think because Iron Man's like he's one of the oldest characters. You know, it goes way back. You know, to probably your dad, and when we were kids, you know, we read comics, you know, back then, and it was Iron Man. So you kind of grew up with the. So Iron Man, Black Widow, he said, so I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, they all kind of came about later on, you know, but when we were young, it was like Iron Man and stuff like that was the heroes, you know. If Kate's saying, any man who's 50 wants to be Iron Man, it's a boomer thing. No, I don't know if that's an American term, Sophia, a boomer. I don't know what a boomer thing is.
It's it comes from the term baby boomer. Do you know baby boomer? No. It was a period of time after World War II.
The baby boom.
When babies, were born. So they're baby boomers, and then people just shorten it to boomer.
Right. Thanks very much for that, Kate. Who says I'm over 50? But that's just insinuating. Assuming, sorry, I'm over 50. I could be 49 and a bit. You know what I mean? I might not be over. I'm over 50, but however. But no, I think it's like Batman and Superman, Spider-Man. You know, they were all about when we were kids. You know, and everybody wanted to be Batman. Used to play the games outside with your friends. You know, it's like, right, I'm Batman. You can go Superman, and you run about and try and kill each other. You know, kill the bad guy and all the rest of it.
Spider-Man's like my top. Like, he's like my favorite character, but realistically, I don't think I would want to fly through the city or fling myself off buildings like that. And I think he's putting a lot of faith in that web fluid. If you're talking about if you're talking about the comic book any version that's not Tobey Maguire's, you're putting a lot of faith in that web fluid, which I'm not too certain about. And if you look in Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey Maguire's back hurts from flinging himself off of buildings. So I think even though I love Spider-Man, I don't think there's a world in which I would want to be Spider-Man.
I don't know. How can I put it? I agree with you with the web thing. I've thought that many times when you see the films and he's hanging over skyscrapers, you know, like 50, 60 stories high, and he's got a wee bit of web that's holding him up kind of thing. You think, no, I'd rather have a rope and a belt and stuff like that, you know. I'd rather be inside the building, actually. But you don't, I don't know, he just doesn't look like a kind of superhero sort of thing, that he's got many powers. Does that make sense?
I mean, Spider-Man has a lot of powers, though, because he has his spidey sense, so he's able to sense stuff incoming. He also can stick to walls and buildings. He has super strength. I don't know if he has faster healing or not, just because he gets beat up a lot. It's kind of hard to tell what's healing or not. But he has, I think, a lot of qualities. Like, if you actually look, he is stronger than Captain America. Captain America knew when he dropped that like terminal on a Spider-Man in Civil War that Spider-Man was able to catch it, and he's stronger in a lot of ways, I think, physically than a lot of people. He pulls punches when he's actually hitting people because his real strength is far superior to any common person.
I know what I mean. See if you get, like, say, you get Spider-Man and you get Iron Man, you put them together. I think Iron Man looks the more menacing, even like Spider-Man, Batman, stuff like that. I think, you know, Batman would look the more menacing. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think. I think they look more superhero-y.
They look more superhero-y, but isn't it more menacing if you underestimate a person and they're able to, like, disintegrate you with a punch?
I suppose I'm a bit like myself.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the Scotsman. Not Kate's on fire tonight with a question. Do you prefer Marvel or DC?
Marvel, 100%. I want nothing to do with Batfleck. I watched Wonder Woman. No offense to anyone that likes it. Thought it was horrible. So any new DC movies are a big no for me. Suicide Squad was okay. Like, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was pretty good. I feel like that was the best casting, but anything else is just like no. So at least in the recent years, it's a like resounding no. Like the old Batman movies from Christian Bale back, those were pretty good. I mean, not talking about Batman and Robin with George Clooney, because that just, like, I don't even think should be mentioned. But DC was really good. They were better than Marvel, but in recent years, it's like no comparison. It's so bad.
I agree with you. No offense to any Wonder Woman fan. I wasn't a fan of Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was in. I watched Justice League after the film Justice League. I've watched that quite a few times because you got a whole kind of selection in there of heroes. But Wonder Woman, I don't know. I saw, was it last week? It was on Facebook or something. But it was the original Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. Did you ever see the original?
No, I haven't seen the original. I saw her in Supergirl, though, playing the president.
There was one. It was on TikTok. I'm sure it was this. I think it was on TikTok, but she was on a skateboard, and she was chasing this car, and the car crashed, and the two bad guys got out and started to run away, and Wonder Woman got her skateboard out and fired after them on their skateboard. They managed to catch them and beat the hell out of them, and then, but the funniest bit, sounds like I'm slagging. I'm not slagging it. I don't mean any offence, everybody that loves it, but how she does the spinning around thing in the original, and then you see the flash and she's Wonder Woman.
Think so? I mean,
you must have seen that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
She's dressed in her normal, her office gear, suit, whatever, her normal everyday clothes, and then she'll stand and she'll spin around with the arms out, and there's this flash of light, and then she's Wonder Woman.
I've seen a lot of videos of the original. I don't know what it was called. I don't think it was called Superman and Lois. I think that was Dean Cain's, but the Christopher Reeve one. And the gaslighting of Lois Lane is like really top notch in that one. I've seen a lot of that where like she's like, I know you're Superman, and she throws herself out of a window and he saves her, but then he's like at the bottom, he goes, Lois, what did you do that for? And she's like, I really thought you were Superman. And so the way he gaslights her is, I've seen that. That was really funny.
And some of the old stuff, that's funny. The skateboard, the thing that got me the most was she's dressed as Wonder Woman, but then she does the spinning around thing. You get a flash of light, and then you see her. She's got a crash helmet on and arm pads and elbow pads. And I'm thinking, you're Wonder Woman. You're indestructible. Why do you get all the protective gear on when you're going skate? I was just, you had to see it to watch it. But I think back in the day, when it first came out, it was the same as the Batman and Robin original way, Adam Westerberg climbing up the wall, with the rope that was perfectly straight and all the rest of it. Back then, we all loved it, but looking back on it now, you think, seriously, we believed that was real?
Yeah.
And you get the wee guy popping his head out the window, the bad guy popping his head out the window, and Batman's walking by. It was kind of like stuff like that, and of course as kids we all loved it, a lot of slapstick comedy involved, but nowadays you just wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge difference in the way TV is made, and I think that's the thing is like Wednesday did a really good job of, I feel like, taking the Addams family and doing the show in a different new light, because Wednesday Addams has always been iconic, so I feel like they did that in a really good way. But that's such like a rarity to be able to take that story and make it new, because they were so of the time period. Like I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, the Addams Family, the Munsters, they're not something you could create today because of the cheesiness and everything, the way the sets were done, the way they look. They all made the shows the way they were iconic, and so Wednesday did a really good job of it. But I'm interested to see how the reboot of the Munsters is going to go, 1313, or it's the Bewitched one. I'm not sure if it's an exact redo or not. That one it was a little weird the way they wrote it up, but they're doing Bewitched too, so I think just the TV shows of that time period are one of those things. It's hard to capture that essence again in today.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Do you think when you get the original series of these things and they're major successes, and everybody grew up with them, and they last and last, and then somebody comes along and tries to, redoes it, and you think, no, it's no get the same bite as the original did. Even the original might have been made 40, 50 years ago. And they didn't have the special effects, all the bits and bobs. But there's just something missing for the remake.
Yeah, I think it's just like that in a lot of ways. Like take Doris Day's Pillow Talk, which you haven't seen, and you really should. For example, you really could not recreate that today because the whole movie surrounds telephones being a party line and these two people sharing essentially like the same phone number, basically. I mean, they didn't have the same phone number, but the same, I don't even know what it was, but just the fact that they were connected and talking to each other through this same telephone line, and you don't have that today. There would be no way to recreate that because that was so to the time period and really situational. That was for that moment in time only. And I think trying to recreate a lot of that today puts in how would you make it work? Like it happened one night with Clark Gable and Claudette Colburn. Her character, Claudette Colburn, is an heiress, and she's running away from her father so she can go marry this guy that he doesn't approve of. So she's trying to pull one over on her dad, and Clark Gable recognizes her and helps her do this, and then they fall in love. But you couldn't do that today because you have cell phones, and everyone would see like, oh, look, there's the Amber Alert for the heiress. So a lot of these movies you just could not recreate. And I think with TV shows, trying to redo them, trying to find that avenue in which they work, capture the audiences while still respecting the memory of the original show, but also making it fresh for today is a very fine line to try and navigate.
They need to try. It's the same with Frasier. Frasier back, when it first came out years ago, but it was massive. Absolutely massive. It was nearly as big as Friends. And I watched. It was the kind of comedy you could watch over and over and over again, and you still laugh. It's the same as Friends. It doesn't matter how many times you watch Friends, you still laugh, even though you know exactly what's coming. You still laugh at it. And then they remade Frasier. I was happy that they brought it back out, because a lot of fans had been asking for a lot of years, are we going to see Frasier again? Because they'd been talking, in the background of them possibly bringing them back and stuff like that. And then they did bring it back. And so a lot of people were happy, but it just lacked that, because Niles isn't in it, the brother, he's not in it, and obviously the father, he's not in it, he passed away, sadly, a couple of years ago. John Mahoney, he passed away 2 years ago, who played Fraser's dad. He was a big part of the show. Him and the dog, Eddie. That's wee Scotch Terrier or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a wee dog anyway. That's passed away now as well. So there's a few things missing from the original, and obviously the characters are all older now. And it's still funny, but it's not got the same spark as the first one that as the original series had.
Yeah, and I think as I get older too, I notice that about TV shows is like a lot of them, like the Vampire Diaries, as a viewer, I mean, a lot of the end seasons are a little iffy, but like as a viewer, you're just like, wow, why couldn't this continue? But a lot of shows, I feel like it's the hard part where fans love it so much, they want more. But then when there is more at a certain point, it loses what made it whole. And so you have to kind of weave what made the show good and knowing when to leave it be and when to continue and give the fans a complete story. And I think it's also just showrunners, even though the fans want more, knowing how to preserve the image of what made the show beloved. And in doing reboots and stuff, trying to capture that for today's audiences can be hard because, people do pass away or, they get older. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I would love a new series of the Vampire Diaries. But the actors themselves are not vampires. They look older. And then it kind of defeats the purpose of the show when they're supposed to be vampires and they don't look like they did season 1. And so you have to try and figure out what works best and how to keep the identity of the show and move forward. And sometimes that just doesn't work. And then you're moving on. Like I Dream of Jeannie was canceled originally because they loved the tension between Major Nelson, I think his name, Tony, and Jeannie. And then when they actually got together in the show and got married, people didn't like it because they had gotten together and they were missing that tension. And I didn't understand that because I was like, I, as someone watching it on reruns, I'm like, I would have loved to see more of their story continued. But then as someone also who's watching a show like Lucifer, I wanted Lucifer and Chloe to get together and become a couple. But when they did, I don't know, it was kind of weird. It was like a little weird. And then I understood, why it doesn't always work when what works for the show is this will they, won't they? And then when they do, it's like the show loses kind of the heart of itself.
I was the same with Friends. I mean, Friends is probably the most successful sitcom ever. It ran for 10 years, 10 seasons. And the world was heartbroken when it finished, and the very last episode, the last scene, the last episode, they're all crying and stuff because Chandler and Monica bought a house and moving away tonight. They were actually real tears that were coming for the cast. And people would say, you know, why are you stopping it? Why it's, you know, you've made millions of fans, millions and millions of dollars, etc. We want to, and the writers were saying, well, we've came to the end of the road with it. You know, there's nowhere we can take the writer said there's nowhere else we can take the kind of storylines. You know, they did try a spin off with Joey. I don't know if you remember that.
I did hear about that. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen Friends fully. I saw like the first season, and then I think I got rid of Netflix or something. I don't remember. I've had Netflix like on and off through the years, so it's like, well, they watch that season because I don't know.
You did watch Friends, but they had Joey played by Matt LeBlanc. He in the story, but it just didn't. I think the first 2 episodes were okay, but then it ended up being cancelled because it just didn't have the same appeal. Even though it was Joey for Friends, without the rest of them there, it just it didn't gel, and that's what the writer said about. You know, we took this as far as we can, and then there was talk about them doing. They were going to do a Friends movie, about a year after the series ended, but it never came about. You know. And it's things like that. But I think if they went back and remade it, you know, added on to it, I don't think it would have had the same bite as the first 10 seasons did.
No, it wouldn't. And I see Kate's comment. Did you see the series The Boys? And if so, what did you think? I have not seen The Boys. I only got Amazon Prime like a couple months ago, so I'm still trying to catch up on stuff. Like my cousin's asking me to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. I still haven't seen it. But I've seen clips online. It seems very interesting. Those are some interesting storylines, but I can see really the concept of The Boys and how they're showing, you know, superheroes, even though they have these powers, are real people, and that doesn't mean just because to the public they're heroes that they actually are. And I think that's definitely a really interesting concept of a show to have, is showing the flip side of the coin, where The Boys is supposed to be this superhero group, but they're actually villains themselves.
What's that one? I might give that a wee watch.
Amazon Prime.
Oh no, we get ready. Amazon Prime. Amazon started I don't know what it's like over there, but you know, they started charging for everything over here. You know, you pay for Prime, and then they just if you want to watch this, you need to pay for it. But a lot of the stuff was, you know, free because you paid the subscription. But then they started adding, you know, you want to watch this film, will cost you like £16, and all the rest of it. We thought, oh, do you know what? No. But no. What's Prime like over at your side?
I don't know. I mean, it's our first time having it ever, so I mean, I don't know what it was before. I don't know. But hey, Raymond in the comments, and Kate, I do understand what you're saying. It's definitely, you know, it's a lot from what I've seen. It's definitely a lot. So I can understand why it's not for you, because yeah, it's those are some interesting storylines. I don't even know what to say about them. They are very strange.
Casey, I hate it because it's so bad. Why do women not like the blood and guts? I
think if you saw it, you would understand.
Is this the boys you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a wee watch. There's a plenty of blood and guts in it. People losing stuff.
You're just gonna have to watch and find out, because I am not describing what happens in that show.
Oh, right, one of the weird violent things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Raymond Buddy. I'm in Scotland, and the sun's been shining all day, my friends. So the shorts have been on, and I've not apologised to anybody for putting my shorts on, because we know the sunshine very often. Kate, Sophia. I saw a comment for Kate coming up. That's I said, Kate. Sophia, on the other hand, she's in LA, where the sun always shines. Do you ever get rain in LA, actually?
Yeah, we get rain during winter. It's been gloomy recently and not like super warm, which I love. I love cold and rain, and I love dreary weather.
Because we're working with CRA Entertainment just now on the Wallace here, so I do a few video calls with David Espinosa. He's in California. He's running about your area as well. And every time you phone the bugger, he's got the vest top on, you know, and enjoying the sunshine and stuff like that. He's sitting with the vest top and that on, and hi, brother, and that, you know. And I'm looking outside and it's bucketing with rain or something like that. It's storms here, and he's like, how you doing, my man? You're roasted till you know. It's really bad, Scott. Really, really, really violent and very horrendous things happen. I'm going to need to look that up now. That's got me curious. But get back to black and white films. I do like black and white films, but it was like, say, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, Abbott and Costello, stuff like the old comedies. What about them?
I haven't seen any of those. I've heard my parents talk about them. I mean, pretty much as far as comedies, like Doris Day is what I've seen. Some Like It Hot. But I haven't seen like Abbott and Costello or I saw like one Marx Brothers movie, and I don't know, I think it's more nostalgia for like my parents or something because I didn't find it funny.
I wasn't a fan of the Marx Brothers. They were too, I don't know, just too silly. To find a better word, you know, silly. But Laurel and Hardy, they're my all-time favourites. You must have seen Laurel and Hardy.
No, I know what they look like, but I've never watched them.
Do you live in a cupboard?
You haven't even seen Pillow Talk. How can you even say that? That's an iconic movie. I mean, Laurel and Hardy, I don't see on TCM much, but I see Pillow Talk. I mean,
that's Doris Day, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a good.
I remember
Glass Bottom Boat. The Glass Bottom Boat is great too.
I'm such a boomer. I don't know. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I think. I don't know. That's not a compliment, is it? That's the opposite, isn't it? You and I will talk later, Kate. Don't worry. I know where you live. You live in Chicago. Doris Day. I remember Calamity Jane.
I haven't seen that. I saw.
Oh, that's it.
Here's the thing. I don't like period pieces of older movies. I just think they're kind of weird. The only one I saw was Love Me or Leave Me with Doris Day. And that one was supposed to be set in the 1920s, and not a single outfit or anything looked like it was set in the 1920s. It was the strangest period piece I've ever seen. But that one was pretty interesting. It was based on a true story of a mobster and a showgirl. So that was really, really interesting. But like period pieces like that, I'm just not like a huge fan of.
No, I did like Calamity Jane, but I'm going back long time ago. There's a couple of black and white films that I've seen and I really liked, and I can't remember the names of them because it was that long ago, me being such a boomer. Not good. The memory starts to fade and that, you know, fail you kind of thing when you get to the boomer age. I don't know if it is what is a boomer age? You're 50 plus. Is that the boomer age?
No, boomers actually only span about, I think, a 5 or 6 year age range, and younger than I think it ends in like 1962 or something, and then the age range goes to Gen X, and then it's Millennial and Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I'm Gen Z.
So boomer ended in 1962.
Somewhere around there. It was actually a pretty short time span. I looked it up once to see if my dad was.
Well, I'm out. All I can say is I'm out of the boomer era then. I came after 1962.
I'd have to Google it, but it was a pretty short period of time. Let's see.
Scott was born around the time when man landed on the moon, right? So when did man land on the moon, Kate? Or did they land on the moon? That's the question. Did they go to the moon? Baby
boomers range from 1946 to 1964.
I'm out then. I'm not a boomer. I'm officially out of that. I landed on myself after 1964. You know. But Kate's almost right. I think it was 69. Man went to the moon. Was it 69? I don't know, it's 69 in my head that Neil Armstrong went to the moon. So I'm round about that kind of 1969. So I was right. It was. I'm just before then, so he'd have been on his way when I was born. Well, I have been over the years, Raymond. I've been called a space cadet, which is a Scottish term for an idiot, basically. If somebody in Scotland says you're a bit of a space cadet, it means you're a bit of a wacko. So that's the closest I've ever came to a spaceman. You're a Generation X then, Scott. You're an X-man. So I'm an X-man. I'm an X-man then. I'm enjoying this tonight, getting slagged,
I know, you're getting assaulted in the comments.
You know what I mean? I might as well just bugger off and die. I'm that old, I'm surprised I'm still upright. No. So I do like some of the. This turned into a film show because we didn't have a topic, but we end up talking about movies.
Yeah, I seem to usually somehow inadvertently get someone to not talk about whatever topic it was supposed to be.
We didn't have a talk. I think we've done Paranormal a couple of times for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Last radio show was on Tuesday. Marvel got brought up too. That wasn't me though. He brought it up. So he also brought up the Lord of the Rings. That was not me. I will say I was good that day. I talked about the paranormal.
But do you not think it's good? I think we've spoken about this before. Just to kind of go away from the paranormal side sometimes and just do a show where you're just talking gibberish.
No, of course. I mean, in my real life, I probably, if it's just day-to-day life, like paranormal, besides doing radio shows, is like 1% of it because I'm a gamer or, I love film and TV. So it's like kind of my life out of it. And I think that's the thing about paranormal investigators. People think they're like always just like graveyard, haunted building or something. But really, it's just like, a normal person and you're also a paranormal investigator.
Aye, no, 100%, Sophia. I mean, there are people out there that live and breathe the I love the paranormal. They always have. But I don't live and breathe it. You need to have that. You need to have that space, that time out kind of thing. There are people out there that 24/7 paranormal. And it's the same thing.
As someone who lived in a haunted house too, for me, it's like, good to have that normalcy because when I lived in a haunted house, I couldn't play video games. I couldn't do anything without having that ghost there. So being regular feels nice. But Kate was asking me about video games too. So
back to video games. Back to the modern age, video. They're after my time. I don't understand these things, technical devices.
Yeah, so I play on like pretty much all platforms. I have PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. My favorite, if we're going just like strictly platform, I mean, PlayStation has the best platform games, obviously with Spider-Man, Last of Us, all of that. My favorite strictly exclusive game would be Uncharted, the Uncharted series, specifically Uncharted 4. I love that on PlayStation. If we're going series as a whole, I love Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Minecraft's fun with friends. And like one of my all-time favorite games is Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there's a answer to that. What lives and breathes verbal abuse from his viewers. I've had a fair bag full of verbal abuse over the years, over the shows, but it's all good it's all good banter. It's all, it's a good laugh, because I can take it. I'm a Scotsman, nobody riles me. That was my threatening, that's my Braveheart face, they'll never take out my freedom sort of thing. Love Uncharted, also Assassins.
Yeah, those are great. I love them so much. I have played Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a Slytherin. I thought it was fun flying around the castle and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I love the games where you can really immerse yourself. Recently, I've been playing Skyrim. I got it when it came out in 2011 when I was 12, but I was really awful at video games then. I mean, it was sad how bad I was. It was really bad. I'm not the best gamer today, but definitely improved a lot. And so I didn't really know what I was doing or where I was going. And so I finally started replaying it a couple months ago, and I actually know what I'm doing now. So that's different. So it's a lot of fun to do that too. Is play games just, with the storyline you can follow.
Hogwarts Legacy. Is that not the way you were playing there? I'm sure that's the game Sarah was playing. Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, it's this wee character, and they run about, in castles and outside, and they've got different tasks to do. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, there's different ones. I mean, there's a game on for your cell phone, Hogwarts Mystery, and then there's Hogwarts Legacy, which is a console and PC game. There's old Harry Potter games based on the movie. So, I mean, there's a few.
Play Valheim. I can't say that word. I'm going to say, playing online with friends, I love Minecraft. Oh, no. Where we one plays Minecraft, and I've tried it a couple of times, and I think it's got one of the most meaningless games out.
Oh, Scotty, it's so fun to build. I love building it. I built a statue of Shrek in Minecraft. That was a lot of fun.
I said it was Hogwarts Legacy. She was at it for days and days.
That was
every night.
£70 ban.
£70 or £75 it cost for a game. I thought it was ridiculous.
No, they're super expensive now, especially if you're talking about Series X or PlayStation 5. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Video games are so much fun, and Minecraft is great. Playing it with friends is a lot of fun to go exploring and stuff. Building stuff. I'm
ignoring that comment.
There's black cement in the game, and we built a nether portal. So there's this realm called the Nether Realm, and it's like lava, and there's like things that spit fire at you. It's really scary because if you die, you lose all your stuff. That's happened to me, and it was really upsetting. I was very angry, but I was my friend Steven was like, yeah, you can decorate the area around the portal. And so I just had some leftover black concrete that I wasn't using. And I was like, oh, I'll just put it on the floor. And Steven walked through the portal, and his character was looking down, and he just saw black, and he thought he fell through a void, and it scared him really bad. So now whenever I make one, I just make it in all black concrete. So all anyone sees is just nothing because it scared Steven once.
Everyone plays it, and I've sat with it a couple of times and have a shot, and I've tried it, and it's just like brick after brick, and I thought maybe it's just me. I don't know. What's the point in this? The other one she plays is Brookhaven. I don't know if you've heard it. It's 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a great game though. Building Shrek was a lot of fun.
Roblox.
Oh, Roblox. Yeah, I played it once or twice with my friend. I didn't really get it, so I only played it like once or twice. But I love Friday the 13th. That was like one of my favorite games, but they're closing the servers. Outlast, specifically Outlast Whistleblower, was a really fun game I loved.
I'll just that's my sort of nickname is Shrek. Thanks for that. See, Shrek. Last game I played was Phasmophobia.
Yeah, it's actually a ghost hunting game, Phasmophobia. It's you go in and you basically play as a ghost hunter. I played it once or twice with my friends, but they didn't really play much. I'm hoping my friend Steven will get it. I keep trying to convince him because Steven should play it, and he's like, well, I don't know where to get it. I'm like, yes, you do, Steven. So he's just playing Steven games.
Nick told us about that Phasmophobia, actually, but we tried to get it. We said I couldn't get it for some reason. You can only get it in certain consoles, or I don't know, certain systems or whatever. That's where I recognised the name. I thought, where have I seen that? It was Nick that told us about that game. I don't like Roblox. I tried playing it, and there was a bit called Brookhaven. This wee guy just all you do is run about. And I thought, what's the point? You know, where are you? And our little one says that's all you do. You just run about, or you can go on a wee push bicycle. I'm thinking, where am I going? What am I doing? I'm just running about streets on a bike.
Oh,
but see, this is it.
Wolf Among Us. I really liked that game too.
I just found it boring. You know,
well, the Wolf Among Us isn't like that, but I really love the Wolf Among Us. I thought it was, such a fantastic game. Good storyline. They made one season 10 years ago, and they're supposed to come out with the season 2, and I will probably be like 100 by the time they make like season 3.
See, my trouble, Sophia, is I'm too intellectual.
Yes.
You know, I need something to occupy my brain rather than running about a street, not going anywhere. I need something to really, tax my knowledge, my talents. Do you know what I mean?
I played Jeopardy too. That's very, very intellectual.
I've got a couple of games on my phone, and that's it. That's where my gaming thingy ends. I do know people who can sit for hours. I can play chess actually. Not played it for a long time, but I can play chess.
Okay.
I can play chess. I used to play chess years ago. I had a wee miniature. One of the Christmas presents your gran buys you. It's a wee miniature magnetic chess set. The pieces are about that size, and he's into a wee wallet sort of thing. You open up, it's a chessboard. I used to have one of them. My gran bought me it, and I carried it everywhere. My friends was in it, and we game of chess. That's how sad I was at times. You know what I mean? But
I don't get chess. It's like a beyond my thought process is chess.
I think it would take me a few games to get back on track with it now, because it's been that long since I played it. You forget wherever all the bits and bobs go. But no, I'm not I've never been a big gamer, even when games first came out. Atari and stuff like that. The first ever video games and that. Everybody wanted an Atari, but it just didn't interest me. Didn't bite me at all.
Oh, I don't want to forget Fallout either. I played Fallout 4, and that was a good game. I liked Fallout a lot. Like a lot of Bethesda games I really like Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls one and Fallout. You have to try them a little bit. Like Fallout or something you might like, because you get to like scavenge and there's like some games with puzzles in them. Like Uncharted, you have to solve puzzles, and that one's really cool. I think you would like it. There's a lot of history in them, like Uncharted 4's. Oh my god, it's like all the pirates, and I can't think of their names, but it's like actual history in it. Or Assassin's Creed's like that too. I learned actually a lot about the Italian history through Assassin's Creed 2, the Medici family. I learned that through video games. I learned a lot through this.
I've got 2 sniper games on my phone as well. I downloaded them recently. Yesterday, I downloaded one, and it's like a safari one. Yesterday, I blew up a chicken and shot a buffalo in the ass. Which is not something you do every day in Scotland. But it's stuff like that. I've got another sniper game where you can blow up people. Mm-hmm. I'm making myself out to be some kind of serial killer or something. I'm not really. I'm quite normal. You
would love Dead by Daylight then. You can play as the killer and go chase people.
And you can kind of machete them.
Yeah, you put them on hooks, and then you wait for the entity to get them. Or Friday the 13th, before the servers close, you could play as Jason.
Okay, Friday the 13th. I like Big Jason. I do admire the man. Big Jason's a man.
Yeah. So those are good games you would probably like.
Freddy, nothing on Jason.
I forgot. There's a Evil Dead video game too, and there's also Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We're talking about remakes. Ella, I watched the 2 remakes of them. The Evil Dead, I take it you've not watched it.
No, I haven't watched it.
The Evil Dead remake was quite good. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, not so much. The original one was better.
But I mean, the video games you could play as Leatherface.
Yeah, I think I'd make a good. Did they do a Saw one?
I don't remember if Jigsaw is in Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight has like you can play as Ghostface, you can play as I think Leatherface is in it too. Freddy's in it. I know for a while they had the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. So Dead by Daylight allows you to. There's Samara from The Ring.
I'm writing that down. I don't usually write stuff down. I always hold a pen. I usually write nothing down, but I'm actually writing that down. What did you have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah, I have seen Stranger Things.
What did you think? Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite show. I feel like I have a lot of unpopular opinions on like film and television. I liked season 3 the best, where they were at the mall. I like Erica was great. You can't spell America without Erica. I just like that season the best.
I mean, we loved it. I thought it was quite addictive. We same as Wednesday. We'd put off what Wednesday had been out for a while, and I think it was Christmas Eve. We were in Glasgow, and we came home. We thought it was Christmas Eve, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we thought, right, we'll watch Wednesday because we kept people talking about it, you know. And we came home and stuck the first one on, and that was it, you know. Or get the next one on, get the next one on. So we're looking forward to the next batch coming out. But Stranger Things, we really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a weird storyline, you know, to try and understand it first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I liked Wednesday a lot. Like my favorite show on Netflix is called Warrior Nun. It's nuns fighting demons. It sounds like kind of weird, but like I swear to God, it is such a good show. They canceled it, which is why I canceled Netflix because they canceled too much. But Warrior Nun is a really good show.
They tend to cancel quite a lot of good shows, don't they?
Yeah, so that's why I canceled it because I was like really annoyed. That was like my favorite show, and it got 2 seasons, but it's a good show. It's literally nuns fighting demons, and I didn't think I would like it. I just put it on because I was doing laundry, and so I was just like, oh, I'll just watch this while I'm cleaning, and then I was doing laundry, but like I did not clean. I just sat and watched it. I was like seated immediately.
You got distracted. There's a series that was on over here called Screw. Over here, prison officers, there's a nickname for prison officers here. They're called Screws. I don't know if the nicknames you got in America, but this series was based in a prison, and it was about, you know, the prison officers' relationship with the prisoners and all the kind of stuff that happens daily. And I get right into it, you know, and then I watched the last episode of season 2, I think, and the supervisor was leaving. She had an option to leave to save this particular part of the prison. She had to leave, but then the boss came in and says, you know, I know how I can get you to stay and still save the prison. Then it ended there. And so I was waiting, and then I read that they're not making another series yet.
Yeah.
And they just left it hanging on that. Because it was a big thing the last 2 or 3 episodes, this woman, because she was a big kind of main partner. And so they made a big thing, but this woman had to go. And I know how you can stay and we can save that part of the prison. Finish. And you're like that.
Yeah.
Wow. You know,
yeah.
How did she, what happens?
There was a show like that when I was younger called My Babysitter's a Vampire, and it ended on like a big explosion that was like supposed to kill all the supernatural creatures, and you had no idea if the vampires survived. You had no idea who survived, and that's just how it ended, was the vampires who had got away staring at the town, and that was it. And there was supposed to be another season, so much left undone, and that was it. Like, no, I was so upset. I loved that show when I was younger.
It's so annoying, and it was a popular. That's what puzzles me as well. You know, you get shows that are crap, basically. You know, no every show's great, and they run series after season after season, and then you get shows that are really good, that are interesting, funny, whatever, and they run for 2 or 3 seasons, then they cut them.
Yeah. Like I know when a lot of shows like Kate brought up the Wing Saga on Netflix. Yeah, I watched that one too. A lot of the shows on Netflix, when they would get canceled, people would be like, they canceled this show, but Riverdale's still on. And I'm thinking, Netflix may have Riverdale on it, but Netflix does not own Riverdale. So everyone would be like, Riverdale's horrible and it's still getting renewed. I can't believe Netflix is doing it. But the CW actually renewed that Riverdale. So people would like see it get canceled, and Riverdale went on some very weird tangent storylines. It was very, very strange. And I stopped watching at some point. It was just bizarre. And but people would see something canceled. They'd be like, I can't believe they renewed Riverdale and not this. And it's like, but they don't run it.
It's probably outrage. As I say, they were on my friends. You know, half the world, it was heartbroken when Friends ended. You know, and at the end of the day, it was just a TV show, but it was amazing. I loved it, and I still do. But it was the amount of people that were in actual tears and, you know, threatening, you know, to end herself and all that kind of stuff over this TV series ending, because it became such a big part of their lives. And a lot of series these days are a big part of people's lives. You know, they watch it and they can relate to the characters or some kind of storyline in it, and, you know, they become really involved with it and what have you, and then it just bang, ends, gone.
Yeah.
And all that. They're totally left in oblivion. You know, what happens, especially that prison one you're at. I would have pulled my hair out if I had any. You know, what happened? How did she manage to save it? It might seem trivial, but when you get wrapped up in something, you know, a story or whatever, and you want to know how it plays out, and then they just take the legs away from it, you know, you're not getting any more.
Yeah, or when you have a good storyline and the writers destroy it. Like Legacies is the second spin-off of the Vampire Diaries, and it started out really good. I mean, I really liked season 1, and when I was talking about the villains never ending, it went 4 seasons long, that show, and then the CW started canceling like every show, so it ended at season 4. It didn't end on a cliffhanger, but they basically for 4 seasons had the exact same villain, and it didn't end. And the main character of the show was Hope Michelson, who's the daughter of Klaus Michelson from the original. So they had like these legacy characters and the Saltzman twins, and it was supposed to be based on these characters who were the kids from the previous shows. And they did not focus on them. They focused on what was essentially supposed to be a side character, and they ruined Hope's whole character. They made her focus around Landon, and she had no personality of her own. She's supposed to be the most powerful creature in the world, and yet every other day it was her and Landon breaking up. And it was so hard to watch, because when you have a good storyline, especially from these 2 shows that were very successful, and then just to watch them just like run it into the ground, it's like, what was the point?
They have all this music, and then they just, it was a bit like Frasier, as I said before, you know, when it first started, it was fantastic. Everybody loved it, and I was addicted to it. Then they brought it back out. I don't know if it was the same writers, but they just didn't have that edge that the original did. So maybe it was different writers or producers, whatever. Maybe it was different people involved in putting it together. And some of the writers, whatever, they just kind of, don't know, didn't have the same comedy. One of the best series I've ever watched, I don't know if you've watched it or no, but if you know, you should, was Lost.
I have not. I've heard about it.
I watched that. It's quite a long, you know, a lengthy series. But once you watch the first episode, you'll be hooked. And I haven't been back quite a few years. I was totally hooked. It's a weird story. There's also, it's like a tree, and there's all sorts of wee branches on it. You know, different stories, characters, the usual. And you're thinking, how does this all fit together? And it gets you wondering, it gets you trying to figure it out, what exactly is going on in the story. But obviously, later on, it's all explained to you. You think, oh, right. You know that you get the old flashback episode.
Yeah.
You know,
I think, I haven't seen the show, but I think Yellow Jackets is a little bit like that.
It's a total shocker at the end. You kind of, you know, when the main kind of storyline comes out, you think, I did not expect that. You know, it's like a gut punch kind of thing. more of a kind of saying. And so if you get the time, I know you're a busy gamer and stuff like that, pardon me, put on Lost. What about that was the other thing I was going to ask. That's nearly an hour and a half we've been on talking shows and films and stuff. How's the Power Tool collection coming along?
What?
The Power Tool collection.
The what collection?
Power Tools.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you on that one.
Do you want me to write it down? Screwdrivers, hammers, electric drills.
Oh, the
power tools.
Yeah, the tools. I thought you were saying pearls, and I was like, "What pearls?" I don't know. I was so confused. Yeah, the tools. I haven't gotten any new ones recently. I'm supposed to go help my grandma with her sewing machine later. Yeah, no, it's going great. I still love my tools. Still love the sander I have. Think that's great. I'll probably get working on my grandma's table again. So I'm pretty excited about that. It turned out so well when I sanded it the last time. But the stain didn't work out so well. So, I mean, my mom's going to have to help me with that. But I still have to sand this other thing and then paint it so she has a box to put her stuff in. So, yeah, I still have stuff to work on with that. But it was either like too hot or too windy or it was raining. So it hasn't been good like sand and paint weather.
Right. I don't know how you said that. You thought I said pearls.
I don't know.
Do you own any pearls by any chance? You got a pearl collection?
No, I was like, what? I was like, pearls? And then I was like, pearls.
For anybody that really knows Sophia, she's right into DIY and building things and destroying things and upscaling or something. I think we call it here, is it?
What?
Upscaling or something. What is it you call it here when you do things up?
Upscaling.
Upscaling. Upcycling. Sorry, upcycling. Do you have that there?
Yeah, I mean, I just like working with stuff. I love being able to do stuff like myself. If I could tile, I would do it in a heartbeat because there's so much tile at my grandma's house and at my house that if I could rip it out, I would. Like, it wouldn't even be a second thought. It would be gone already. I can't. There's just a lot I want to do. I want to. My grandma was talking about painting her house like one time, and I was like, you know what would look great, Grandma? What if you painted your house black? I don't think I actually said that to her. She'll watch this at some point. So, Grandma, someday you should paint your house black.
Sophia's grandma, do it black. I had a friend years ago.
It would look so cool. So I live across the street from my grandma. My house is white, and I love it. It looks great. But a lot of other people started painting their houses white. And now it's too much. Now it's bothering me. So what will no one else do? Paint their house black. I need her house to stand out. I need it to be a statement piece.
There you go, madam. Paint your house. Let Sophia paint your house black and you'll have a happy granddaughter. Now, I had a friend, I must have been about 16, 17. Me and my mother, pal, hung about together with this friend. His name was Tony. And his mum and dad were really religious. I'm talking, nothing against people who are religious, I was their own beliefs, but they were very, very strong Catholics, really strong. The crucifixes in every room and Bibles in every room and stuff like that, And because me and my friend Brian, we were at 16, 17, we didn't care. You're that age, you don't have a care in the world, you're out drinking and all, all the rest of that kind of stuff. And so we always thought his mum, and whenever we'd go to visit, his name was Tony, whenever we go to visit, 10 o'clock, I always remember that his dad had done a loft conversion, so he used to sit up in his loft, his attic. And the first night Brian and I went, we're sitting there in his attic top, and we heard this bell, like a dinner bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling.
Yeah.
And we heard his mum saying, home time. This was 10 o'clock at night. And Brian, we just kind of looked at each other and we thought, what the was that? And then we heard the ding-a-ling again. And as we say to Tony, what's that? Is that your mum? aye, it's you need to go. 10 o'clock's kicking out time, sort of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this became a thing, you know, 10 o'clock be building. But his dad, they had a bought house and they lived, there was kind of row of houses, stone houses, nothing like you know, like the American style. These were like stone houses. I think there was about maybe 10 in a row, and their house was right in the middle, more or less. And his dad decided to paint the outside of the house. And he painted it lime green.
Oh my God.
When Brian and I walked out, you can see Tony's house. We used to walk, you can see, you know, a wee distance away. And I always remember the first time Tony says my dad's painted the house. We go, oh, that's nice, you know, great. We didn't know he meant the outside of the house. We thought he painted and decorating inside. And Brian and I were walking down and we seen this lime green. I was saying, is that Tony's house? That can't be Tony. That's Tony's house. And the closer we go to it, this big, it looked like a big lime. Somebody dumped a big lime in the middle of the row of houses.
Yeah, I saw a lime green house growing up, and I just thought you could use that as a green screen for sure.
Oh, it was just, that's a very useful story, but it's just when you're talking about painting the house, I always remember that when we seen this lime green house. And his dad he was all happy with it, you know, and he was a church elder or whatever it was. He was quite high up in the church sort of thing, and he was a lecturer at Glasgow University, a professor, sorry, at Glasgow University. So he's quite, you know, money and posh and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, do you like my house? I painted it green. It's lovely. Very nice, Mr. Rose. We noticed it for about 2 miles away. The sun shone on it. There was a big, you know, big apple or a big lime or something. I think it's lovely, and the Lord thinks it's lovely, and, you know, all the rest of it. Thought any colour but lime green. You know?
Yeah, that was definitely a choice.
So that's a message.
It was good. Some might say it was bad.
I don't know if it still exists today. You know, I'll be back. The house they might have knocked it down. Hopefully, they've knocked it down. You know, demolished it and built an office building or something. I don't know. So this is a message to Sophia's grandma: do not paint your house lime green.
Oh my God, she would never do that. She would never do that.
Yellow.
That's my legend. She wouldn't do that.
Yellow, red, blue, stuff like that. I think that'd be all right. Yeah, a yellow house with the white fence. You see it in the films in America. Yellow house, white fence, white picket fence and stuff like that. No?
I don't like white picket fences.
No, nothing like that. Blue?
I mean, it depends on the shade.
It's got to be black.
Black.
No, do it black. Aye. We've actually got a rule over here. We don't know if it's true. The housing associations over here, you're not allowed to paint any of your rooms black. Because it seems it's the hardest colour to paint over.
I mean, just put some primer over it. It'll be fine. I would paint my bedroom black if I wasn't scared of spiders.
Oh, because they blend in, don't they? Spiders blend into the black paint.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Do you get like big spiders over there?
It depends. I mean, not Australian big, but like, I mean, you can get some pretty big spiders, and then I yell for my dad, and he tells me they're not trying to kill me, and I tell him he's wrong, and they are.
They're not actually, though. They're not.
They are.
To kill you.
They are trying to kill me. Unless you've spoken to one, I am going to go with the belief that they are in fact trying to kill me.
I've never met a homicidal spider in my, so far.
Well, that's because you haven't met the ones that live near me.
Right. So the ones that live near you. See, we get spiders here, and the size is always exaggerated. See, we want to say a spider in the room. You need to get it. You need to go and get it. And you get in the room, you're like that. Where? There. It's there. It's massive. And you go in, and it's like the end of that pen, the end of the nib on the pen. It's like that. You're like, where is it? And after with that wee black spit, I get it. That's a killer spider. It's going to kill us in our sleep. You think?
No, I'm talking about thick spiders, not like tarantulas, but they're thick and they are out for my demise. I am sure of it. I'm very sure of it.
I can understand. I mean, Australia, you get spiders the size of Cherokee Jeeps and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, like, Australia looks pretty, but the spiders there are like, no, thank you.
There's little brother. He's going to Australia end of July, I think it is. He's got friends over there. I think it's the end of July. He's going over for a month. So this will be his first time, you know, going that far. That's where the Australian. I was going to say that's where the Australian side come from. The Australian team. That's Jem and Kate. They're in Australia. I don't know what I was going to go. I was going to say this Australian team comes to Australia, but that's a bit obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, maybe they moved and they just kept the Australian name.
Well, Jennifer, Jem, she's actually originated from Hull, down in England, which is about 3.5 hours. So she's, but her mum and dad moved over there years and years ago, and then she thought, I think she went over about 10 or 12 years ago, but she's still got the kind of sort of English accent. She's more Australian now, but she's got, you can still hear the wee kind of twang of the English accent, and you know, when she's speaking. But spiders over in California, that must be killers.
The ones specifically near me are.
But the other ones round about, you know, the outskirts of your neighbourhood, they'll be fine.
Well, I can't speak to the other neighborhood spiders, just the ones that are near me. I know are trying to kill me. The ones that are down the street, it's like on the fence. Are you trying to get here to kill me, or are you just staying over there? So it's, you know, it's a little on the fence.
Maybe the ones at the other end of the street are just chilling out, enjoying life.
Yeah,
you know,
they might be, but the ones here are definitely, they have a vendetta.
Having wee spider picnics on a Sunday and stuff like that at the park.
Yeah,
and stuff,
there's this
know?
like one huge spider that hangs outside my window, and it's like taunts me, and then it has babies, and then those babies try and come in, and we've tried to kill it, and it hides, and I hate it. I wish it would die.
Can you know, just whack it with a stick or a brush or something?
No, because it's fast and it literally hides. There's like a box outside my window. I think it's for like the internet or something, and it goes and it like wedges itself there or something. You literally will lose it. We've tried multiple times. That's how I know it's trying to kill me. I
don't have an answer for that, I'm afraid, though. You know,
yeah.
I don't know. Catch it by surprise. During the night when it's sleeping.
I did. Well, the last time I saw it, there was like a leaf stuck on a cobweb, and I like blew it, like just with like wind, hoping it would fall down. And then the spider felt the vibration of the spider web, and then it crawled out. And then I about had a heart attack because it was so massive. And then I screamed to my parents. And then by the time they went outside, the spider was like starting to hide, and I was like, kill it. And it's still there.
Is the box sealed?
I don't know, but it definitely has places that it can go, because there's like an AC unit underneath. It literally has like tons of places it can hide.
Because I was going to say boil a kettle and just pour the water over it.
But
you're sure to get the bugger.
It's plastic though. It's a plastic box.
But it'll be built to withstand all sorts of heat and weather and that kind of stuff. Just even hot water, just drown the bugger. There you go. Problem solved.
I don't know. I needed to go away though. I know that one is definitely going to get me.
Hose it. You got a garden hose. I'm assuming
we did that too, and it ran away. It dropped to the ground and behind the AC unit, and we couldn't do anything.
My sympathies go out to you there.
Thank you. You know, I appreciate that.
I hope you get a hold of the killer spider eventually. You know what I mean?
But me too. I really do.
I think we'll wind it up there. See, the next time you're on, right, we're going to do, here's a thought, right, a paranormal show. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be fun.
We'll stay away from cooking. Well, we'll actually stay away from cooking the night food and stuff. We'll stay away from DIY and films and all that, you know, video games, everything we're talking about. We'll do a show solely on the paranormal.
Okay, cool.
But do you think that would work?
Yeah, I think it would work for sure. As long as, like you said, no food. Can't talk about it.
No food, no DIY, no video games, Hogwarts, none of that. Marvel, nothing. All right.
Okay,
So-
yeah, for sure.
Is that a deal? Is that a deal?
For
So,
sure.
I'll keep a hold of you just after we come off as usual, though, for a wee sec. So, where can people find the Ghost Host?
So you can find me on Facebook, the like page, the Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli. You can see some of my past shows on YouTube, the Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli. You can follow me in my radio show on Twitter at Sophia Temperilli, at Ghost Host Show, Instagram at Sophia Temperilli. I was also recently featured in Ghosted Magazine. They did a featured article on me. So you can go to ghostmagazine.com and see that article. I was also recently in Groundbreaking Women on the Fringe, Groundbreaking Women in the Paranormal, a book by Denise Agnew, Marie D. Jones, and Nicole Strickland, and you can find that on Amazon and hear about my life story and growing up in a haunted house. And yeah, you can check me out on all those social medias. Listen to my show every Saturday, 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT. You can listen to that on Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes podcasts, and a lot of other places.
Look at that. I've no idea what time it is. That any of the times are in the UK. Totally no idea. So just get a look on Facebook and what have you, folks. Well, she is a very busy lady. But we will be getting her back again, and we will do a paranormal show. And we could talk about the book and the magazine, etc. Then, which we actually should have talked about in this show, but hey ho, is what it is, isn't it? We carried away in other subjects, but we will be getting her back, folks. So a big thank you to Sophia for coming. It's been a while since we had her on, and it was good just to get her back for a catch up and general chit chat. And but we're going to wind up there. So we're back Monday with wee Eileen from Phantom Seekers Paranormal. Eileen, you watch this? I've still got your pen, doll. Still got your pen there. Still using it. I won that pen actually.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, I've never won anything in my life, apart from a crappy lamp when I was about 10 years old at a school fair sort of thing. But Phantom Seeker, they held a kind of, you had to pick a number. And so I picked a number, I think it was 7. And then they done the drawing number 7. So I got a book, a pen, and a wee badge. I was fairly happy with it, Always good to win, so even if it's something small. But we're going to wind up there, folks. So we're back Monday, and you'll be seeing this young lady again very soon. And check her out, all the stuff she does. Well worth a watch and a wee listen. And thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soonish. Have a good weekend. Hope the sun shines. Bye, folks.